What's going on, YouTube? How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing great as usual. Again, guys, thank you for all your love and support. The channel is certainly growing at a pretty rapid rate as of recently, and I gotta tell you guys, I really appreciate it. It means a lot. I enjoy our conversations in the comments section, whether you're lashing out at me, whether you disagree with me, whether whatever the case is. I'm just happy that we can still have a civil conversation. At the end of the day, we have an understanding that we're really just truly talking about premium TVs here, and it's not the end of the world. Although I truly appreciate the passion that you guys bring to me in these conversations, at the same time, we're able to settle and just appreciate it, man. And that's what it's all about. So thank you guys. You guys are awesome for that. And I truly appreciate it, man. I really do feel that love. So thank you. But as you guys can see, normally I do have 3 TVs lined up across the board. And you can tell by the title what we're really about to talk about. Why did I get rid of the A95L, the Sony A95L? And, I'm going to just let you guys know right up front when it comes to it is I moved on from the Sony A95L, and I didn't ever think that I would. I bought 2 of them, guys. I've never ever done that in my life. I bought 2 77-inch Sony A95Ls. I never bought 2 of the same TV at the same size ever. So, I've definitely bought 2 of the same TV what was it, back in 2018, whenever the LG CX was out. I bought the 77-inch and the 65-inch. So yeah, technically I did buy the same model TV, but not in the same size. So this was the same size, which is even more of an expense at the top tier level, especially with Sony. So it is a little bit of a bittersweet type of situation for me. I do miss the TV in certain aspects, but at the same time, I have moved on to, I truly feel something a little bit better. And again, guys, when I say better, I'm not saying like it's like a tremendous jump from, the A95L to the LG G4 or the Samsung S90D, but I do feel like it was enough improvements for me to really not care as much of getting rid of the TVs and just kind of creating space for the 2025 model year TVs coming up. And that's pretty much what I kind of do. Again, I purchase my own TVs with my own money. Obviously, I'm not sponsored. I'm not a pro whatsoever. Although I am learning, I do have a colorimeter. I am just kind of slowly and taking my time and learning how to calibrate my own TVs to my own personal liking. I know how to obviously get it down to reference somewhat as a reference point, but I think the best I've gotten was like a Delta era of I think like either 2 or 3 for my TVs. But then from there, I honestly really just kind of get out of that and then really calibrate it to my own perceptual liking. So, but yeah, nonetheless, guys, let's get straight to the point here. So why did I get rid of the Sony A95L? And here's my own personal reasoning. Guys, I loved the TV. Like, I truly did. The only thing is that for me, I didn't really see enough to keep the TV over the LG G4 or the S90D. Here's my gripe about, Sony and, what my personal issue is with Sony. I just feel that Sony, for some reason, just is a little bit too on the conservative side. They have a certain signature look that is fantastic. Their own personal color science. They have their own style of, their own processing algorithm. That is phenomenal. But for me, I just don't see the reason why I would keep that TV when the newer model years, like the LG G4 the Samsung S90D that I have that you're looking at right here. By the way, the LG G4 is to the left. The Samsung S90D is to the right. And just to show you my menus here, so you know, as you can see to the right, that's the pop-up menu for, of course, Samsung. We all kind of know what that looks like by now. And obviously, we will pull up your LG menu there, just so you guys know that that is the LG G4. But going back to my point is, I didn't really see a point of keeping the Sony A95L because number one, the the signature look that signature processing that Sony has is phenomenal. All right, but I just feel like they're a little bit too conservative when it comes to their color science, the way they process certain colors and things like that. And although I can pull, especially in HDR 4K, a lot of detail, I just feel like it takes more work to be able to see that detail and be able to pull it out. And what I mean is, you can have reality creation on. You can boost up your sharpness just to get more clarity out of the TV. But I just feel like when you're spending that much money, that's kind of stuff, in my personal opinion, that kind of processing, that kind of clarity should really come standard. And if you want to, and with more headroom, if you wanted to do more above and beyond that. For example, the LG G4, just right out the box, guys, the clarity is so good that you almost don't even need to do anything with it as far as the sharpness goes. You can literally put the sharpness down to 0 and it looks sharper and has more detail than the Sony A95L. The Sony A95L can look a little bit more on a softer side, even in 4K HDR content. It can, even especially, I noticed it the most, especially in gaming. In gaming is when I actually notice it the most, where the overall picture looks softer. Yeah, there are times where you see good sharpness, clarity, but then you, let's say, just stack it up and put it next to the S90D or the LG G4, and it takes it to a whole other level, guys. And the crazy part is Sony can get to that point easily. You know they can. They have the processing power. They have the panel technology, the QD-OLED technology, and it's just like, why are they being so conservative when you have a Samsung S90D without a heat sink in their panel, blowing it out the water, getting brighter, getting more color luminance, just going all out, guys, with what they can do. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. I will say that I do believe, in my overall opinion, is if you're looking for the most cinematic looking TV or premium TV in the market, I do believe that that's where the A95L falls into place. It does have like the best, the best, in my opinion, right out the box sound system, and it shows. You know what I mean? It really does show. It also, to me, in my personal opinion, has the best or most cinematic vibe without being at the movie theater, without watching an actual movie screen or a projector. I do definitely feel that it is the best for that. It has that cinematic motion that we all appreciate. In a movie, it has a really good look to it in those perspectives. But for me, as using the TV as a primary gaming TV, it just didn't cut it for me. The colors, although I knew could be better, they just weren't there. I'm talking about you can literally use or boost up your color, and you can do anything, whatever setting you want that'll help the color on the Sony A95L. It still had this like holdback to it that a QD OLED, like let's say the S90D, just didn't hold back. It was like right. I'm talking right out the box without even doing anything. The blacks were a little raised with the Sony A95L as well. You definitely can notice it when you're something with a primarily watching something with a black background. Like for example, like if you pop on Netflix or something like that, you can definitely notice like when the loading screen comes on and you have the big Netflix N, the letter N coming up, and then the whole background is red. You'll see that it is definitely more raised on actually both the LG G4 and the A95L. I think that the QD OLED has the best panel uniformity with the best black levels. When it comes to situations like that, it just pops. But again, you know, I just feel that if you're really looking for the best TV right now, I do feel like the 2024 models have surpassed that point of the A95L. And that's crazy for me to say because I never thought that I would get a nicer TV than the A95L. I was in love. I bought two 77-inch guys, two 77-inch A95Ls. So I didn't think I was ever going to get rid of it. I remember even saying to myself, like, how am I going to ever get rid of this TV? It's like the nicest TV I've ever seen. 1 year later comes in, and it just, like, even those subtle differences have definitely raised the bar. And, you know, surpassed. And it's crazy because it really teaches you this lesson where you learn in and for me, I learned the hard way because I'm the one that spent the money. But it really teaches you that lesson that just because you're paying that premium, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a better picture. There are a lot of times where you do pay for the name. And that's what I honestly think at once I purchased the S90D and the LG G4 after the fact, after buying the A95L twice, that those are things that you actually do notice. And, you know, yeah, the color was really good for a QD OLED on the Sony A95L. You can see that it was better than a W OLED, the color. But honestly, guys, the margin or that percentage difference is so little that in 98% of the time, you're really not going to notice the difference. And as a matter of fact, with the way an LG G4 can look, it is right on par with that kind of cinematic vibe that you get if you want to get that out of the LG G4 anyways. Plus, you can get the LG G4 to look extremely natural, which is, I think, is still somewhat of a plus with a W OLED. You still have some of those advantages. So that's the primary reason, guys. There are things I do miss about the Sony A95L, which is definitely the sound quality, the build, things like that. The ecosystem with the surround sound system worked really, really well. I still have the Sony surround sound system, and I have it hooked up to my mini LED upstairs. My Hisense U8N works fine. Obviously, syncs well. Just you can't use the TV as a center speaker because it's not a Sony, and that's really about it. But yeah, that's those are things I do miss about it. But again, guys, that's just my personal opinion. I miss the A95L? I would say like it's probably more like 60 or 70/30, and 70 on the not so much side because I'm just happy with what I have. Every time I turn on either the LG G4 or the S90D, I'm just blown away every single time. It never gets old. Um, and now we got the 2025 TVs coming up, and they're changing the game and stepping it up a notch pretty big. And I didn't think that was going to happen for 2025. I thought it was going to be another subtle difference. Yeah, we get some brightness and things like that, um, more AI, things like that. But it's really an exciting. I feel like it is going to be an exciting year for TVs. We have really good bleeding edge, moving forward technologies that even look very future proof too. Obviously, we have the new QD OLEDs and that are going to be running at 165 hertz for PC gaming. That's really cool if you're a PC gamer. I think that's awesome. Same thing with LG. We have that tandem four stack WOLED technology, which I'm very eager to see. We have the Panasonic WOLED that also shares that same technology because it's basically an LG panel, but it is a new panel technology, and I just feel like they're not getting enough credit because it's still technically a WOLED. But I do have a feeling that your BT 2020 color space is definitely going to be improved. I don't know by how much of a percent. I mean, my guess is maybe I don't know, 5%, if that. 6%. I don't even know if it's going to be noticeable, but it's a step in the right direction, and it's still a WOLED. I do like the idea of you know, the WOLEDs using that four stack technology as a new panel technology. I feel like it's kind of definitely a moving forward technology. I do feel like although that MLA filter that they used only for 2 years was good, I do think at points and times you can see how it did raise the blacks a little bit or had maybe some kind of contribution to it. I'm not exactly sure, to be honest with you. I don't have measuring tools to prove that, and I don't know if anybody does. But maybe that's why they got rid of it, and it only lasted 2 years because they wanted inkier blacks and they wanted the color luminosity to be better where it should be better. And that's what I like about the newer technology. It's really getting more refined and it's smarter, and they're really fine tuning where they want colors and highlights and things like that to really be, and they want the brightness to be where it is at the right time at the right place. And it's not just about overall brightness, it's about where that brightness gets placed, where that color gets placed, and things like that, where those details get placed. I'm a big fan of like small specular highlights being able to sparkle and shine and be bright in an image. That really brings life to a lifelike experience when you're watching. I have a feeling that the LG G4 or G5 is definitely going to be able to accomplish that better than anyone next year. But again, that QD OLED technology, being able to hit 4,000 nits. I think, what is it, on a 3% window, or I can't remember. And then being able to hit about 400, a little bit above 400 on an overall screen. I don't know if that's based off of a D65 white point. I'm not sure it is. I think that's somewhere in vivid mode, if I'm not mistaken. So obviously, there are a lot of people out there who don't like vivid mode because it can look very blue or very green overall. So I know that most people will either put it in like a professional mode, a movie mode, or standard mode when you're gaming. But from there, you'll definitely be able to customize it to your liking. So I'm excited about that, trying to see what it is. Is it going to be enough for people to change over to a 2025 TV? Most likely not, but it's just nice that they're moving in the right direction. Another thing I'm excited about with these next 2025 model TVs is QD mini LED technology. I do feel like that to me is actually a bigger jump than what OLEDs are doing, either whether it's WOLED or QD OLEDs. There's just something about that technology to me that just seems like it's like very aggressive in a good way. Because technically mini LEDs are able to get brighter than OLEDs at any given day. But I do feel like I have a mini LED upstairs. It can get overall brighter, but I gotta tell you guys the god honest truth, man. The image quality is not there compared to a premium OLED or QD OLED TV. It really just isn't. It doesn't have the clarity. Definitely doesn't have the fine details. Um, and a lot of times, that's why I have it upstairs. It's not my primary TV. I use it if I'm just like basically streaming or just killing time or whatever like that, where, image quality to me isn't that important. I'm watching something on Netflix or whatever, like some kind of show or whatever series that, with it doesn't really matter to me, but I will tell you guys, it is noticeable if you're, someone who's kind of spoiled like I am, and with these, and has the ability to, have both TVs, and I'm definitely grateful and humble for that. So, but yeah, tell me what you guys think, man. Is this something that you truly believe you are excited for? Are you excited for either the QD OLEDs, what LG's doing? And let me tell you guys something. I think what I'm going to do this year is I'm probably aiming for the 83-inch LG G5. Um, I know that TV is going to be crazy expensive on launch. So, or definitely interested in the Panasonic OLED. There's just something about the build of that TV that like brings me kind of back, because and the speaker setup on that TV looks phenomenal. I You see how it's like a cloth brushed cover on the speakers, just looks extremely high end, and the picture quality of that is like almost like it's between let's say an LG and a Sony. Like it's almost like, it's like in between both color wise. So it's really cool to see that. They have like their own signature look that's different too. It's crazy. So, but yeah, so I'm super excited about that, and it looks like the sound quality of that thing is going to like blow your mind. So, at least for like a TV out the box without a sound bar, relatively speaking, I should say. So yeah, so I'm super excited about that. Yeah, tell me what you guys think. If you guys have any gripes, or if you have any opinions on what you see in the future. If is it, do you even think it's worth it? Do you care? Not care? Let me know. But anyways, guys, thank you for all your support, and I will certainly see you on the next one. And by the way, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, guys, you have to check out these demos that I'm using here by Jennifer Gala, the HDR Super Channel. I will link um, her channel in the description, and I will also link the video. This video in the description. This video is really cool because it's very realistic. It's not like that much CGI, but it is. It has 2,000, 4,000, 10,000 nit graded content, all in 4K. And man, it just really does show what your TV can do in all those different grades. So look her up, check her out, subscribe to her channel if you like to watch demos on your TVs, because it's definitely worth it. And her content is amazing. So big fan, and I always got to big her up and give her props for that. So thank you guys so much again, and hope to see you on the next one. Peace.